Hi, we like to talk about TV, films and comics on this channel, and today we're going to talk about Jeff Lemire's Green Arrow Deluxe Edition. The Jeff Lemire Green Arrow run forms part of the New 52. It's collected in this Deluxe Edition. Before we get into the story or anything like that, you get this nice dust jacket with the theme colours for the book. It's coloured mainly in black, green, red and white. Actual hardcover has a picture of Oliver Queen pulling his bow, and then you get a black inlay pages along with a little bit of an introduction from Mark Millar, and then you're straight into the story. There's no contents page or anything like that. It's got a good binding, easy to read, nice and solid. Good eye for a smaller book, and there's no complaints there. It was making a hell of a lot of cracking sounds, even though I'd stretched it out when I was reading it. But nothing's come away and nothing's gone wrong with it. On to the story itself. It follows Oliver Queen. And it uses a very, very cliched mechanic that he's lost everything. His business has been taken away from him. Part of his team's been taken away, and he's out on a quest to sort of find himself again. He has had this done by a villain called Komodo, who is a sort of dark archer figure, and he seems to be able to best him when it comes to archery. And he's drawn into a plot where he discovers that there are various clans, I think 6 or 7, all represented by a different totem weapon. So the arrow, fist, spear, shield, sword, etc. His father, it turns out, was on the quest for the arrow totem on the island where Oliver was left. This causes him to encounter various new villains, well, new in the New 52 anyway, such as Vertigo, who's got a sort of cyborgy-like upgrade for his powers, and you meet other characters such as Shadow and Richard Dragon. You can see that there were influences either to or from the Arrow TV series towards the end of this book, which I won't get into because I don't want to spoil it too much. So I say Richard Dragon is probably the most interesting of the characters, because he's got this sort of training from the League of Assassins where he can identify a person's weaknesses, and you get these nice shots in the book of him analysing, person's hands, arms, positions, and where they're going to throw punches from, or where it's best to strike them. But anyway, he goes after the arrow totem with the assistance of Shadow and his team. Ends up getting it, reaches sort of immediate spiritual enlightenment because he touches the totem, and has to have a sort of battle with the various clans that represent the different totem weapons. That's the majority of the book, and there's a sort of button on the end of it where he takes on Richard Dragon and his crime empire. It feels a little bit tacked on, to be honest, even though it's probably, for me, the more enjoyable part of the book. It does just feel like it's stuck on the end of it. The artwork is absolutely fine, and it's very stylised. That's why I say it's fine, because I got kind of bored of the artwork about halfway through, and when that happens with a graphic novel comic book, it does make it hard to continue reading. But I like Jeff Lemire, and I was happy to keep reading the book because of the strength of his dialogue. But the art style just got a little bit wearing, let's say. It's not bad at all, it's art is totally personal choice, but yeah, it just got a little bit wearing on me. I don't like this version of Oliver Queen, where he's all clean cut and super young, and that was annoying. They try and do flashbacks to year 1 in Gotham, where we meet year 1 Batman. They're okay, but it suffers from the same sort of New 52 problems in that they're trying to squish everything into this shorter timeline, and some of it just doesn't gel if you know your sort of DC history and you've been reading other books. It just gets a little bit wonky, let us say. But that doesn't spoil the enjoyment of the book. You're just sitting there after reading some bits and seeing some scenes going, oh, what the fuck? But otherwise, you know, you get a good retelling of Green Arrow's origin, and you find out some surprising truths. The main one, and spoilers, being that Oliver Queen's dad was alive all along, and he was the one who put him on the island and forced him to become Green Arrow. It was an okay reveal. I didn't know it was coming, but it just felt a little bit sort of naff after it was revealed. Look, it's a lovely deluxe edition. It's worth getting if you're into collecting deluxe editions or you like Green Arrow. I don't read a lot of Green Arrow, so for me this was all sort of new. It's a reasonable price to buy online. I got this for I think about £16 off eBay. I thought it would come with remainder marks or something like it, but it didn't. It came brand new and packaged. I wouldn't pay more than maybe £18–20 for it. I'll throw a price up just to see what it goes for generally at the moment, because the prices fluctuate so much with these things. But yeah, look, it's an enjoyable read. It's a nice one to have in your collection. It's got unique art, and it's a good story that I think will influence a lot of things going forward, whether it's on TV or in film. Let me know what you think about the book. Is it your favourite Green Arrow run? Are there, you know, better ones? As I said, I don't know a lot about Green Arrow other than, you know, the basics. So I'd be interested to know. And please feel free to give us a thumbs up and a like and a subscribe. Thanks for watching.